Do you remember the first time that you failed or you felt that failure? Does a specific moment come to mind that you remember? Oh yeah, that was a big one. That was one of the first times I sort of really felt that discomfort or disappointment through not quite following through or achieving what I'd set out to do. Maybe a better way to reframe it is, do you remember the first time that you felt like you fell short? And what comes to mind, you know? Are you sitting there straight away, something big comes to mind and you think, yeah, it was that. That was one of the first times I really felt that feeling of failing and falling short and the discomfort and disappointment around that whole situation. Or are you sitting there thinking, yeah, I'm not too sure actually. It's too many to remember, too many moments to remember of falling short and not achieving what you'd set out to achieve, that you can't even pinpoint the first one. That's also natural, right? Sometimes these things happen when we're young. These first failures of feeling the failures and maybe not being enough or not achieving what you'd set out to achieve happen when we're young. Or the things that come to mind might be actually when you're older, setting up projects and businesses, or a job that you've done that you felt like you didn't achieve. It might actually be in sport, you know? Was it you playing sport and you felt like you failed in what you were setting out to achieve with teammates, or was it a solo journey that this comes to mind? It's good to ask yourself and reflect on these things, you know, especially if something big stands out right away. You think, oh no, it was that was the first time I felt that feeling of failing. And how did that feel, you know? And then how did you respond? This is another big one. How did you respond to that discomfort and disappointment? Did that make you did you accept it, overcome, learn from it, and take that into your next venture or your next thing? Did it instill a mindset in you of more drive and determination to go again and achieve better? Or did it knock you down? Did it imprint something in your mind or in something in your being that made you felt like, no, it's not worth stepping out and trying to do those things anymore? You know what I mean? I don't want to feel that discomfort and disappointment anymore, you know? These early experiences of feeling them sort of emotions of trying hard and putting a lot of energy into something and probably doing your best, yet still falling short, can have a big impact, you know, on who you are as a character and how people around you made you feel in that. Was you supported or was you kind of knocked down even more? Did you go through that process alone and sit with it internally, or did you go through it with others and share, and it was quite public, that experience of falling short? Because these things can really have an impact on us without us even really realising, you know. And when you actually start going back to the actual moments that we experience these things, like failing and falling short, then we can start to uncover, like, yeah, did that have an impact on me? A big impact? Did it actually change my character? And if so, in a positive way or a negative way? As it made me feel like it's kind of not worth, or I'm not worth, or those feelings of trying hard and not getting to where you want to get to is not kind of worth it? Or has it affected your character in your resilience and determination to keep going, try again? Because even failing in itself or falling short in itself, is there really such thing if you take the lessons and the growth and learn from how and why it failed, or why you didn't get to that goal that you deemed as successful, or like your predetermined success? Because it's only really a failure if you didn't take from it, right? Because other than that, it was only your predetermined idea of success that wasn't met. But if you took all the lessons and things that you learnt about yourself and doing something in whatever realm it was along the way to achieve that goal, then you definitely got something back in return that shows you maybe what needs work, where weaknesses are, or what's for you and what isn't for you, what direction you want to go in from there. Do you take all these things and that determination and resilience forward to keep going, to keep attacking your path with determination and resilience? Or of these sort of experiences, these early on experiences, the first times that we experience these sorts of emotions of disappointment and discomfort, have they kept us in our comfort zone since? Has it installed something in us that makes us think, it's kind of not worth it? There are times I've put all that energy into something, it's kind of made you give up. Sometimes it's just that these things aren't meant to be, they weren't right for you anyway. And it's through the determination, the resilience and that hunger in you to overcome and not get knocked down, but to take the lessons and the growth forward, learn from it, that will lead you to the things that are meant to be and the things that are in alignment with your path that are ultimately going to be more successful. It's without going through all these moments of falling short or these moments of failure, depending on how you handle them, that you will ultimately get to that, or your predetermined idea of success in whatever field you end up going down. To expect ourselves to achieve it on the first go is quite unrealistic anyway, right? Especially when it comes to projects and business and stuff like that. Expecting yourself to have it all figured out without determination and resilience to keep overcoming the hurdles and the blocks and the falling short, to keep overcoming that time and time again, is how you're actually going to get to that place eventually of, I've done it. I sort of reached my idea of success in this particular field. And it might have been all those first moments or earlier on moments in your life where you have fell short that led you to that. And it was the growth that you had through those experiences that led you to that anyway. It's kind of needed. It's a big part of the process. And you're going to appreciate it more when you get there eventually, right? Because you know what it's like to fall short. You know what it's like to fail. Yeah, if we accept that, or start believing that it's not worth following through on things and going again because of these early moments in our lives where we fell short, we put a lot of energy into something but we failed, and those feelings that we felt stopped us from having that in us to keep going on other ventures or other projects or even the same project. Really is how you handle it. There's no such thing as failing, really, if you take the growth and you learn from it along the way. And failing in itself, you only just didn't meet your predetermined idea of success, which is an expectation anyway, right? That's something that there probably are many things in the mix that made you not meet it. So it's understanding those things. What were those things? And you take them forward. This is all simple stuff that we kind of know to be resilient, to keep on going. It's cliche, keep on going, keep on going, keep on going. Yeah, that can be hard, and for many that can stop in these early moments, especially if you're young. If you feel like you're someone that kind of hasn't really had it in you to dream big and to start things that you could fail on or you could fall short on, but you haven't had that mindset to think it's worth it in the meantime, it's good to ask yourself, have you fell short before on certain things that meant a lot to you, that required a lot of energy for you to do? And has that sort of imprinted something in your mind that makes you not go again or feel like it's worth it? Keep exploring and keep pushing yourself to dream big and put the work in without knowing if it's going to work, or without knowing that you're going to reach that idea of success. Because some people, these situations install or bring a resilience and a determination inside where they know they're going to succeed even without knowing how. And what a difference that is. Someone might take these experiences and situations to let them feel like it's not worth it, they're never going to achieve it, and others will take it with determination and resilience and end up in a knowing that they 100% will achieve it. They're just on this journey, whatever it takes to overcome, learn, grow, fall short, but then go again. And the character growth that's there to be had in that resilience and determination. So how you handle those first moments of rejection, falling short, not meeting your desired expectation on things, how you respond to those in your early life but also today, kind of determine what path you're on, right? How you've let your experiences mold you as a person and your mindset around achieving, dreaming big and going for a goal without even knowing, or without there being proof that it's going to go the way that you intend it to go. Some of you out there are going to be so determined and not be put off and have this almost delusional optimism inside that's healthy when it comes to setting out for a big goal. you know, knowing that, yeah, there's going to be hurdles, I'm going to overcome them. And then others out there are going to be sitting there thinking, I kind of given up on that, you know what I mean? It's never kind of gone to plan. And it's imprinted something in you that makes you not dream big or think it's possible. When you're on the other end of the spectrum of not believing in yourself, feeling like you're worthy to overcome those hurdles and put the energy in without knowing if the desired outcome is going to be expected, right? Or going to be met, sorry. So it's good to reflect on these moments, you know, and do they hold you back and keep you stuck, or have they birthed more determination and resilience in you and shaped your character as someone who can and will succeed? Or has it shaped you as the person that's just accepted and bowed down to that, yeah, sometimes things are hard, sometimes things don't go to plan, and therefore I'm not gonna put myself on the line, put my energy and my spirit on the line, and put my heart and soul into something through the hurt and pain that I've experienced before of not meeting my expectations or feeling the discomfort and the disappointment. It's good to ask yourself what side of this you fall. It's going to show you what you're working with. To either keep going, you're resilient, you're determined, or you've got determination, or you're holding yourself back massively in comfort zones through fear of falling short, through fear of putting your energy into something that you love or that means a lot that you may not achieve. And as I said, is there anything that is a failure unless you take the lessons? As long as you take the lessons with you, as long as you take that growth and learn from what it showed you about yourself and how to take that forward, then it's probably just a part of your journey that you also one day look back on with clear clarity on thinking, yeah, I know why that happened, and it led me to this point now where I can feel success in the areas that I've dived into with that knowing and that growth I had through those experiences of falling short. Because that's not failing. You know, that's just part of the journey of being human and learning as we go. We need these experiences, these emotions that come up through putting your heart and soul into something and not getting what you want back. But it's down to you to run with that in whatever direction. And it can make you stop and not keep going. It can make you give up in many ways and have that victim mindset, or it can birth a warrior, a soldier that's determined and resilient. And it's he that will eventually reach that point of success that they predetermined all along and knew that they would reach through all those moments of falling short. When was the first time you felt that? And how did you respond to that feeling? How did that unravel for you? And has it impacted your mindset and your approach to life in positive or negative ways? Yeah. Peace.